as we've seen in the last module, the as the codes of conduct that have been developed in a multipartite scenario, and it is more or less a business's proactive role in self-regulation and entering into understanding how to develop and implement these codes of conduct, and it is non-mandatory, or there is no, it's not non-mandatory on the part of the organizations, like they must be following it. Then there may be some issues also, like they are just entering into these contracts as a part of their enlightened self-interest to gain more popularity in the maybe market scenario in the business world. And then when they are talking of self-regulations for the purpose of doing a business, and it appears to be like a very multifaceted, multi-layered and dynamic activity, then question comes like for what? And in that respect, when we are defining for what, and if we are focusing, we are like, what is the business's role, why they are doing it, and to what extent is their responsibility in defining these regulations, in participating in seeing like these regulations are implemented while they are playing the role of a corporate citizen, and to what we are questioning, to what extent they are responsible. And in that context further, we are discussing the sustainability issues, where we are following the model of triple bottom line, where we are talking of economic concerns, the environmental concerns, and the societal concerns. Now, defining sustainability by the ecological model, where the main focus is on the conservation of the environment and the like prevention of the depletion of the resources, or taking care of the pollution, then many industries which are based on these practices of working on non-renewable energy, these sustainability practices may work as a threat to them. But if we are expanding the definition of sustainability from not only just focusing on the ecological perspective, but we are also including the maybe the social perspective into it more, and the economic perspective also into it, then it gives maybe a broader aspect of the industry's participation, because focusing only on ecology may act as a threat to the organization. So, however, critics have observed like the organizations may have started redefining the concept of sustainability based on their ease of performing and ease of understanding, so that when you are putting your focus away from mainly the ecological perspective, so you are doing away with the strict restrictions that are imposed on the organizations for following environmental friendly practices, and then it is becoming more like they are shifting from this to understanding of sustainability in a broader definition, and this may have and like implications on how it is dealing with the environment and the how it is trying to balance the ecological system and what contribution it is making to it. So, the redefinition or the easing the definition of sustainability by putting away the focus from the ecological perspective has not been accepted very well by many of the critics. So, when we are like which we this softer concept has been particularly driven by the industry has not been well accepted by the critics. So, given more or less the subtle resistance of the industry to sustainability, it is the government who has to play a more regulatory role in defining the regulations and making the industry follow it very strictly, because if left to maybe self regulation, they are trying to redefine it in a softer way, which is not the proper way of looking into the concept of sustainability. So, here the government has a major role to play to see that the business organizations are following the regulations and it is getting properly implemented. So, we will study it with respect to majorly the global climate change legislation and the business responses. So, there have been two types of responses like support and obstruction both. So, the debate on climate change regulation has been the key political area of sustainability. So, from the ecological viewpoint, the potentially irreversible destruction of the ozone layer has to be classified as one of the most worryingly unsustainable behaviors. Therefore, global warming and changes in the global climate were the central stage in the Rio summit in 1992. Levy and Egan 2000 suggest that by this time the World Business Council of Sustainable Development, a coalition of 160 international companies, has already subtly lobbied against any concrete measures to be implemented on a global level. However, as the political debate moved on, the Kyoto Protocol was ultimately signed in 1997 by 200 countries. The protocol foresaw significant reductions in the emission of greenhouse gases, most notably carbon dioxide. Reductions in carbon dioxide, however, represented severe threat to some industries. Amongst the fiercest opponents was the oil industry, which is fundamentally implicated in the greenhouse gas emissions through the burning of fossil fuels. As a result of this, the industry founded the Global Climate Coalition in 1989 to lobby against government regulations to cut back on greenhouse gas emissions. As Koch and Levy revealed, among the main goals of the Global Climate Coalition were to lobby on the global level for weaker legislation and on the national level to lobby their governments not to sign, ratify or implement the Kyoto Protocol. Amongst the main members of the GCC were the European companies BP and Shell, as well as the American companies like ExxonMobil and Texaco. In course of time, however, their strategies differed quite significantly, and then the European companies left the GCC, first BP in 1996 and later Shell in 1998. Despite the industry's profound skepticism, it was ultimately found like the governments and most notably the European Union were bound to implement Kyoto at some stage. And also they faced a lot of stakeholder pressures from the CSOs and others to step back from the obstructive positions of the global climate coalition. So, which made the companies maybe to rebrand themselves from the old BP, from getting named from British Petroleum to rebranding itself as Beyond Petroleum. So, this constructive engagement of the industry towards climate change was looked into very positively, and it gained further momentum, and the recent milestone is a letter by the corporate leaders group on climate change to the British Prime Minister offering their active support for tougher stance in implementing the Kyoto target. So, from negative association it became a very positive association. So, this, however, the strategies of the US companies were different, since they saw considerable mileage in lobbying the US government to refrain from implementing climate protection legislation. So, this happens, and so we can see like these issues have got different responses from different parts and of the world, and how the industry have behaved in union with the government and the CSO support. So, has led to the views, strategies that they have taken. Another issue which is of importance is the global supply of food and water, and whether like water should be privatized, supply of water should be privatized, and ethical issues related to it, and volatility of global markets for rice and wheat, and by the exacerbated by the rise of biofuels. So, these type of things are important issues to be discussed under this global changes and global changes and business responses, which are like whether it is an obstruction created by the industries towards the implementation of these regulations, or they have supported these movements. So, this also have led to discussions like whether it is sometimes industries are playing a dual role or not, in the sense whether they have publicly may have supported these issues, but maybe privately they have, or publicly they have supported these issues, but publicly they have appeared to be good, but privately they may have lobbied for to the government for restraining from implementation of these regulations through covert lobbying. So, there could be a difference in the images that is maintained between the, like a public image that has been maintained by the organizations, and the privately what they are they are acting as a pressure group to their own government to not to implement these issues, or to implement it not in such a strict way, but in a lowered version of it. So, these like the climate change perspectives, the carbon emissions, this has immense implications on the automotive industry across Europe. So, what are the what are the steps taken by the organizations, whether it is taken any middle of the role positions like this, this needs to be investigated. In achieving sustainability, then we have to understand what is the necessary role for the government. So, what we understand from here is that the businesses often focus on short-term successes, especially focusing on economies which are more strongly geared towards shareholder value ideology. Sustainability, however, is looking at intergenerational sustainability is focusing towards intergenerational equity, balance, and it assumes much longer time perspective. So, there is, however, nothing wrong in the industries taking a short time perspective for judging certain aspects of their financial success, because it is one of the important features of the market. But also at the same point of time, it needs to take care of the full interest of the society at large or the next generations. However, it is understood like the business will not be motivated very much to take this long time interest in implementing sustainability. So, in the way like that, we have been discussing the role of the different stakeholders and the implication of sustainability towards them. So, as compared to the other stakeholders. So, there comes the important role of the government, who has to take up the role of representing the needs of the other stakeholders, and that also of the future generation, and to act in, and the government have to act in favor of the future generation. So, although self-regulations and voluntary agreements open up the dialogue between the business and the government and the CSOs, so for framing of regulatory activities, but it is because it is a long-term perspective, the business may lose interest in doing something for which the immediate results are not visible to them. Because of this, government has to take the initiative to see like this in setting up these rules and regulations and enforcing the rules which are aimed at promoting sustainability, and ultimately the success of the regulatory activity will depend upon however, the strength that the government institutions can maintain within a rapidly globalized and deterritorialized economy, because we have seen like with the shift from the Westphalian to the post-Westphalian scenario, the government is shifting from a more dominant role to a dependent role. So we can understand like because businesses may not develop that long-term perspective for taking initiative for certain measures for which results are not immediately visible, then the government has to take some role in making those implementations, making the organizations follow it, like to some extent forcing them also to follow this, because it is in the larger interest of the community and it is for the intergenerational benefit and the equity. However, whether they are able to do it or not, how far they are able to force it on the organizations or not, depends on the relative power dynamics that the government enjoys with respect to the corporate, and that too is when we are talking of in the globalized scenario. So maybe we have to formulate regulations like what it can be done at the global level, what steps can be done at the national level, and what strict regulations can be done at the local level. So if these policies are percolated in a proper way and active steps are taken, to some extent maybe the business corporates will be forced to follow the sustainable practices. Self-regulation of course is there. It's self-regulations are practices which are welcome practices. Self-regulations and voluntary participations are very welcome practices, but the government also should be active enough in implementing these rules and regulations and monitoring that the rules and regulations with regards to the sustainable business practices which leads to the sustainability of not only of the present but of the future generation through from the ecological perspective. Majorly it has to constantly monitor it, check it that these practices are being followed, and an active participation of the government have to be there. With this, we will move on to the summary of today's discussion. In today's discussion, we have focused on the stake held by the government in business and said how the role of the government and its central task of issuing regulation for business affects the stakeholder relationship. We have discussed about the complex role of governments and the interdependencies and the mutual interests that they have with the businesses. Looked at the way globalization shifts the role of business and government in regulating issues of relevance to business ethics, and we have seen how sustainable development can clash too strongly with the short-term profit goals of business to be left merely to voluntary approaches. So, till now we have focused onto the major stakeholders involved in the business. We have focused on the stakeholders like consumers, employees, suppliers, who are directly connected with the business practices, economic activities of the business. We have also focused into two of the actors, stakeholders, like the civil society organizations and the government, though not directly connected with the economic activities of the business, but they have a major role to define how the business is going to function, and what are the expectations of the society, and how the regulatory framework can be formulated so that the businesses function within that framework for sustainable business practices and following ethical codes of conduct. And so these have been focused in the stakeholders' relationship with the business ethics that we have focused in the discussions till today. In the next module, we are going to discuss about one of the stakeholders, which the mention of which have been come time and again, but it is a silent stakeholder who cannot express itself, but it is a very important stakeholder, as we have just seen while we are discussing the ecological perspective. We are speaking of the stakeholder, which is the environment, and in the next module we are going to discuss about the environment and business ethics, relationship of the organization with the environment and ethical issues with respect to it. Thank you.